All right. Likutei Halacha, Hilchos Birchos Hashachar Halacha Hey. We are holding by Seif Mem Daled 44. וזה בחינס בעלוסכו, הסנרס, על פני המנוירו, יאירו, שיבו סנרס. When you light up the candles in front of the face of the menorah, let the 7 candles shine. Ki neshama kriyaner. The neshama is akin to a candle. As it says in Mishlei Ner Hashem Nishmas Odom Chofetz Kol Chodrei Lev, the candle of Hashem, the neshama of a person is a candle of Hashem. You know, that actually searches all the chambers of one's innards, one's essence. There's a big secret that is alluded to in this particular pasuk before we go weiter into this inyan here. We all have basically, psychologists, they have different names for it, but we have like 3 parts to our personality, to our cognition, so to speak. We have the upper part. Psychologists call it superego. This is the Sfiras HaChachma. This is the basic rules that you have learned as a human being in the society where you are, to the parents, which are specifically your parents, about what it means to be good and what it means to be bad. This is the basic ground rules. This is how this game is played. Mm-hmm. Okay? Then you have the mid-level, that this is the Bina and the Das. The psychologists call it ego. Yeah. This is the realm where you make the decisions. You're aware of what's going on with you, of reality. You make decisions. You have challenges. You have taivas. You have whatever it is that's going on in your life, and you're making decisions this way, that way. And then you have, when there is a clash between what you're doing and what you believe that you ought to be doing, it causes a frustration. Now, this frustration is not acted out. You don't go out in the street beating up people, hopefully, unless they start first. Then you're just reacting, right? But it comes out in a need to let out steam. That usually comes out in temptation, on Kedusha side, to do things that, either you do things or you fantasize about doing things or whatever it is. And if a person doesn't find an outlet, when it, along those areas, it sublimates into rage, into anger. So when the anger is towards the outside, when the anger is pointing outside, it comes out as rage, and when it points out towards the inside, it results in depression. The thing is that what people don't understand, when they make decisions that they themselves don't agree with, when I do something that I don't agree with, it seems like everything is okay. I got away with it. I was in the Makolet, and the guy gave me 20 shekels too much change. Okay? Who knows? Whatever it is. I just took it, I put it in my pocket. Nobody knows except for me. Okay? And it looks like I'm going out there, and I forgot about it. I don't think about it. You didn't forget about it, and it didn't go anywhere. There's a certain capacity in your stomach, to hold up the pressure that you feel between the dichotomy between what you believe you should be doing and what you're actually doing. It's not endless. Your capacity to hold on to that pressure is not endless. You think you forgot about it. You think you moved on to the next thing, but you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah.
The only way to really get rid of that is to talk about it. To talk about it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To talk about, first of all, to talk about it to yourself, to admit you did something you shouldn't have done. And to talk about the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if you have a confidant that you can really trust, to talk to him about it as well. First of all, just to let off the pressure. Ultimately doing the tshuva is actually taking the deed itself and flipping it over, making it into a positive thing. Because that which you did, when you do tshuva on an avera, it's more than just, it takes off the pressure. It makes it into something totally new. You're making a totally new decision about that. It's like a company, it's very much like, there's a company that makes custom kitchens that they sent to a customer, very rich guy, a whole new kitchen, and it's supposed to be there for Kretzmach. That was the guarantee. Well, lo and behold, a week before Kretzmach or something like this, it doesn't come. So they call up and say, listen, it didn't come. So, first of all, immediately they flew everything. They sent it out. They sent it out by air. They sent it out by, by land or whatever it is. First of all, they flew immediately the whole shipment, to this guy, and new shipment, and they gave him a tremendous discount. Like half of it was for free. And what they did was they sent him with it a voucher, so when the original order comes, just put it on it and send it right back on their cheshbon. Okay? The guy that bought it said he will never ever buy from a different company. It is the blooper, it is the fiasco that gave him a chance to prove that they're better than anybody else. If it would have been just, okay, it comes sometime, whatever it is, he wouldn't think twice about it. The same thing, the same principle operates when a person does an avera, does tshuva. It enables you, to become better than you ever were before. Masha'enken, we just talk about it. You're talking about to a confidant, between you and yourself. It just it releases the pressure, but it doesn't, change you. It doesn't flip it over. But the main thing that you have to understand is that Ner Hashem, Nishmas Odom, the soul of a person, your own conscience, is like the candle of Kodesh Baruch Hu. It searches all the rooms of your heart, all the rooms of your innards. There's nothing that you do that escapes you. It escapes your neshama. Nobody has to punish you. You punish yourself already. You chase yourself already. And the punishment is always death. Death with the fiery whip of guilt feelings and whatever it is. So it goes out with smoking, it goes out with, you call it partying, but you're not really partying. You're just trying to slow suicide kind of thing, whatever. Very, very slow, very, very subtle, but this is where it's heading. The thing to do is to release it, to flip it, and to clean it. And ultimately, whenever it is that you're making a decision, the decision should be A, sane, and B, it should be one that respects you. Now, what does it mean, a sane decision? A sane decision means that you can make any decision you want, including making an avera. Any decision you want, as long as you realize the consequences and you accept them. We gave, a famous muscle that we gave 1,000 times already. With the car. You go to the car, you go to the Merkaz, you park the car on the sidewalk. I'm just running in for 5 minutes, you're coming out, and lo and behold, there's a ticker on your window, and you curse the meter maid to Kingdom Come. Well, they couldn't wait for 2 minutes. What do you mean you couldn't wait for 2 minutes? It's not their business to wait for you to be done like schus to wait for 2 minutes. The insanity thereof was that you said, I'll park, I'll be really quick and nothing will happen. This is the insane part of it. But if you said, listen, I'm parking the car on the sidewalk, let's say because they're closing the pharmacy in 5 minutes, and I have to get medication, I have to get antibiotics, whatever it is, or whatever it is that I need to get. If I get a ticket, so be it. I accept it upon myself. So you have the same action with the same decision. One of them was a sane decision, one of them was an insane decision. The only difference between them is you accept it upon yourself whatever outcome will be. If I get a ticket, I get a ticket. What can I do? That's my decision. The same thing applies to any kind of crazy thing that you decide to do. As long as you do it, fully accepting the consequence, it's the same decision. Secondly, whenever it is that you make a decision, ask yourself, better still ask somebody that you really trust, if this is a decision that respects you. Because ultimately, you're going to pay for any decision that you make that doesn't respect you the way you should be respected. Forget about respecting other people. First of all, you have to respect yourself. Because if you don't, you'll always catch yourself. Because Ner Hashem Nishmas Odom Chofes Kol Chaver, it searches all the nook and crannies of your conscious, your subconscious. You can't hide anything.
Because the Ner is inside you.
The neshama is the Ner. The neshama is the Ner. The neshama is the Ner. It illuminates. It illuminates. The neshama shemamaychi, the neshama which is in your brain. You can't escape who you are and what you do. So there's a long process on how you handle things from when you actually stop and say, whoa, just a minute. So let's say that I decided I want to go along this way. How do I start? There's a long schmooze about that in and on itself. But the main thing is that you need to know you can't hide from yourself. It says, the main root of the neshama is the Ratzon Hashem. The nefesh itself is called Ratzon. Because the strength and the resoluteness of the will. It is the will that actually drives everything. It is the will that enables you to overcome all the obstacles in your life. That kind of resolute, stubborn, despite it all, decision and affirmation comes from the Ratzon, and it burns like a candle is burning. Because the love is as fierce as death is. Should take a Ratzon. That's the fierceness and the mightiness of the will and the ahava v'ishtakikus l'Hashem Yisborach, and the love and the yearning towards the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Because you have to understand, we have in our minds, we have 3 levels. We have the level what you call the Bina consciousness, which is the verbal level of our thoughts.
Yeah.
You have the Chochma consciousness, which is the non-verbal level of our thoughts. It's the basic assumptions, it's the basic feelings you get about that you understand things even, like you can step into a room, you realize something is wrong here, and you don't know what it is. You can't put it into details, but bam, you got it. This is the Chochma level consciousness. But and the Seichel itself is not something which is that you're cognizant of. You're not cognizant of the Seichel. You are cognizant only of the results of the Seichel, the calculation that your Seichel makes, the machshavas that actually going in your head. But the actual computer, there's no consciousness to the seichel. But there is a level which is that's the chokhmah, because there's a level which is beyond that, which is the level of the kesed, that's the rotzen. Kesed. That's the rotzen, that's your will. That's your primordial will that nothing on earth can block it. If it is up to a person to make a decision to self-sacrifice, l'shem shemayim or not, and it comes to a bina, a chokhmah level decision, the person will never do it. But when it comes to the level of rotzon, when it comes to the level of just sheer will, nothing can stop it. This is the strongest driving force there is. And this is like a burning fire. This is Nei Hashem Nishmas Olam. And this is the love and the will and the Ishtokikus to Hashem Yisbarach. That's the strongest drive there is in a person's life. Because the thing is that all the drives and the wills to anything else in the world is actually sublimated forms of that particular Ishtokikus and Ahava to Hashem Yisbarach. You know, whether it is for women, or it is for money, or it is for drugs, or it is for whatever it is that the person has in mind, and you know, that the person likes, or music, or whatever it is. What it is you took the primordial, the original, pure will to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the love for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the ishtadlus for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it becomes sublimated into something else. It turns into something else. It is diverted to something else.
At what point does it get diverted? Like, where does it get, like, tamei?
When you make according to your decisions. I mean, when you're not, it's the minute that you Baal Shem Tov said, the minute that you stray away from the Kodesh Baruch Hu, that immediately constitutes a form of Avodah Zarah. It means the minute that you move your eyes away from Hashem, you divert the Ahava away from Hashem. I mean, when this kind of example that I gave before about, you know, when you get frustrated, you know, between the dichotomy of the ego and the super ego, so to speak, you know, and then, you know, you have to find out, you know, you have to assuage the pain and sort of like self-medicate yourself, you know, in the lower behavior, whatever. What it really is, this is in Kabbalah, Arizal calls it ahavas anefulas, the fallen loves. You know, you take a love which belongs to Hashem, and it drops down, you know, because you sort of like, you need to sort of like medicate it and kill your pain. You have to medicate your pain. That's the reason. Obviously, the process to stop medicating the pain is to stop causing the pain with chatchila, you know, and to give refuah to the injury itself. But this is a process all its own. But the main thing, the main force, the main power is the ahava and the ratzon. And he says over there, he says that the sparks is the sparks of fire, the fire of Hashem. I mean, mighty waters cannot lash out the love. The strength of the love and the yearning to Hashem it burns up like sparks of divine fire. That original fire lights up all the holy candles. And it is said there is a certain process. The Zohar Kodesh says that's the role of a person in this world is to light up lamps, and to put fire to candles. That's the light of the neshama shekuya ner Hashem. That is, you put a fire, you flame up the fire of your neshama by strengthening your Ratzon of Kedusha that burns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that burns for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in sparks of divine fire. All the Ritzonos that there are in the world, as we said before, are sublimated Ritzonos that you want to for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What you see that people invent things, that people come up with iPhones and with apps and with this, everything is basically, you see that people are never happy. What's so bad when cellular phones were invented? There were no smartphones. What, they couldn't live like that? You see that you're living today without the inventions of tomorrow, no problem. What is the thing that pushes ahead? It pushes ahead, no, this is, I want more, I want more. When they're talking about the elections, the only thing they have to say is it's new, it's a change. We want new, we want change. How do you know it's just going to be good? This is not good. No, but it's new, it's change. That yearning for new and change and finding faults with that which is old, and saying that you need something new, is sublimated Ratzon to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that has faltered and fell down to the lower Madrigas.
Faltered?
What? Faltered, yeah, fell down.
Yeah, I gotta learn that word.
What? Falter is to slip down, it's like fall down. Now, the lighting up and the burning up of the light of the neshama, the main purpose thereof, the idea is just to illuminate in the very depth of darkness that each and every one of us has to pass through this life. Because that's the only reason why the neshama comes down to the world and insert into a physical and coarse body such as this. The gashmius, the physicality of the body in this world, nikra choshech, it's called darkness. And the darkness is so thick, and since from the thickness of that darkness, it is so thick and so great, it's not impossible to exist. There were the two malachim that came, before Dor HaMabul. There were two malachim that came down, that they figured that they could really, hang it out, you can really carry it out in this world. And they failed. They are the ones who took the daughters of men, and everything culminated with the Mabul, as Chazal said. The human neshama, the human neshama comes from a much higher madrega than malachim. Much, much higher than malachim. It comes from an exalted place, from the supernal will. That's why it has the capacity, it has the capability, if you all want it, to withstand this war. Because if the neshama will be resolute and decisive to hold on to its root, which is the primordial Ratzon of Hashem, in other words, to never ever let go the will to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, no matter what happens to you. Because listen, people fall. People can come to places that they think that they cannot ever possible extricate themselves from. But the point is that in every place where you find yourself, never let go of the rods to get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu has ways of getting you out of the biggest trouble you can think of. The biggest trouble you can think of, Kodesh Baruch Hu can get you out. And by being mischazik, and many times the only thing that is actually asked from you is to do the best you can under the circumstances, no more. You you can't tell because it clashes with what you believe your ideals should be.
Right.
Beseder. So you break yourself down, you feel, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, whatever it is, and simsof, you fall down from Rasim completely. You think, listen, I learned I'm supposed to be a tzaddik, I'm supposed to be a Talmid Chacham, and I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to be that, I'm supposed to be whatever it is, and I can't. And I tried, and I failed, and I tried, and I failed, and I came to the conclusion, that ain't happening. It's not happening. No, in my lifetime it's not happening. So what am I going to do? So, something, let me go into business, let me go into this, let me do that. Just a second. So, why don't you do whatever it is that you can do? The most that you can do. That comes from Gaiva. No. I'm supposed to be a tzaddik. I'm supposed to be a Talmid Chacham. I'm supposed to be really, really good. But I can't. So why bother? Why try? If you can't really make it, at least, maybe you can, I can make some money, I can make this, and whatever. Each one according. So the main thing is, that the main desire of a person in this world is wherever you find yourself, even after you fell, even if you kill the Yid, even if Chaz v'Chalila a person gave birth to a mamzer, these are things that cannot be undone. Even there, hold yourself with the Ratzon of the Kodesh Baruch Hu as much as you can. Even if you say, listen, I'm getting into Gehenna, and I'm never, they're going to lock me in a room, in a dark room without doors, where time is measured in millenniums. It doesn't matter. I want a Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's what I want. This is what the Neshama came down to the world to do. If you're able to close your eyes, don't be a doctor and a maven on yourself. You have a chance, you don't have a chance. You're doing it, you're not doing it. You'll make it, you'll never make it. Don't go there. The only thing, just retreat to the back of your volition, to the back of your ratzon. Just want. Want the Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's the main concern, no matter מה שיבוא עליו. על ידי זה תוכל לסגבר לעולם נגד חשך הגוף העולם הזה. If you do this, you'll be able to overcome forever the darkness of the body and the darkness of this world. Because the strength and decisiveness and the resoluteness of the Ratzon is the light and the ner that lights to a person in any kind of choshech and tzalmav that he finds himself. Because for you, shall light up my candle, Hashem Elokai, Hashem my God, Yagia Choshki, you will illuminate my darkness. Once you do this, once you are very resolute to do whatever you can, and sometimes you can't do it, so you say, okay, so the next moment you get up and you do it. Okay, well, a whole week I didn't think about it. Okay, so now you start. It doesn't matter, whatever, you know the song, Masha Aya, Akal Atchil Matchala, whatever happened, whatever happened. In Arabic they say ilifat mat, whatever happened is dead. It's finished. It's finished. Start new, right now. With you, I can run against whole legions. And with Hashem together with me, I can bounce over, I can jump over walls. שיוכל להתגבר נגד כל הגדודים והחיילות וחומס הברזל. I can overcome all the legions and all the armies and all the iron fences that want to stop between me and my Father in heaven. כי איכשהו, because no matter what, ליבי בוער עדיין, my heart is still burning. With sparks of fire, divine fire. Listen to the loshon that he uses here is rishpei esh. Rishpei means flickers, means sparks. It doesn't mean the big flame of a major fire in a California forest. You're talking over here of rishpei, just a flicker, just a spark here, a spark there. But it's a sparks of a divine fire. It can overcome absolutely everything. Zerkodesh says, "Less rusa tova disavi." There's not one good Ratzon that ever gets lost. You know, you feel like that you want, but it's not going to happen. That little thing that you wanted will never, ever, ever get lost. That even mighty seas, mighty waters can never lash it out. A darkness can never hide HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you can make the night shine like day. וכסיב ונסב מיכה, אל תשמחי אויבתי לי, כי נפלתי קמתי. Don't rejoice, my enemy, for I have fallen, for I have faltered. כי נפלתי קמתי. If I've fallen, I will get up again. כי ישב בחושך I'm sitting in darkness, Hashem only. Hashem is light to me. והכל על ידי תוקף הרצון, and everything is through the strength and the resoluteness and the decisiveness of the Ratzon, of the will. Shu'ikar Kedushas HaNeshama, that constitutes the main sanctity of the Neshama b'shosha in its root. Shenikres b'shvil zeh, that's why it's called a candle. Ki me'ira k'moner mamash, because it illuminates mamash like a candle. Shemei b'chol minei choshech, that lights, that shines in any kind of darkness that there is. To be continued tomorrow. Let's just